Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name's Ingram Jones, and you're watching Bayloric TV Boxing News. Anthony Joshua is back. According to Eddie Hearn, the IBF heavyweight champion of the world is scheduled to make his next defense of the IBF heavyweight championship of the world in Cardiff. So this is the plans of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and Anthony Joshua. This is interesting. If Tyson Fury is scheduled to defend his unified championship against Vladimir Klitschko on October the 29th, and Joshua is scheduled to defend the IBF version of the heavyweight championship in November in Cardiff, it gives boxing fans a tough decision to make. Do I buy tickets to go and see Anthony Joshua? Or do I buy tickets to go and see Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury? Some people can afford to see both fights, but some people have to make the decision, Joshua or Fury. See, those loyal Fury fans will go and see Fury regardless and will, dismiss Joshua and say, okay, he's a good fighter, but our guy's better. And recent times with the drug scandal with Tyson Fury and all the bad press he's been getting, it surely hasn't done. In some ways, it's drawn more attention to him. Whether that's lost him fans or brought in more fans for being more speaking out his mind and saying things, don't know how that works in terms of ticket sales. But certainly, Tyson being on Box Nation and Joshua being on Sky Sports, Joshua is in a much more powerful position in terms of what Sky Sports can do. They can sell Joshua on the hour, every hour on Sky Sports News. Yes, Box Nation are pretty limited in what they can do. Don't get me wrong, Box Nation do a good job of what they do, but I'm sure when Joshua decides to announce the opponent, you're going to hear about it, and it's going to be all over the place. Despite everyone saying that the fight's going to be on October the 29th for Klitschko Fury 2, not seeing much promotion for it. It's all very quiet, and that's concerning and worrying. This is the World Heavyweight Championship, the unified belts with Fury and Klitschko, yet there's absolutely very little to be heard about it. When Joshua decides to make his title defense in Cardiff, you're going to hear everything about Joshua and his title defense against whomever it would be. So you ask yourself the question, well, who do you think that Joshua will make his title defense against? Thank you very much. That's my Twitter going off. Who do you think Joshua would make his title defense against? Well, we know that Bermane Stiverne is out of the question. Bryant Jennings, from what I understand, had the Klitschko fight. He felt he rushed into the Ortiz fight. I won't do that again. So he'll take warm-up fights before he takes on a big fight again. So, and I hope Bryant Jennings doesn't take that fight against Joshua. He's fighting Povetkin. Guys that I think would be the sort of guys I think now it will be good for Joshua. Duhaupas. Now we know that Fury is going to be fighting Ruiz. Then Duhaupas would be good. He's big. He's strong. He's durable. He doesn't have a huge work rate, and the sort of guy that would be a good test for Joshua. I think Joshua would beat Duhaupas. He should beat Duhaupas. Would be another one. Has been in actors. Hasn't fought recently. There's a fight there. We know Ustinov is going to be fighting Ortiz. So, and there's Pulev. A lot of talk about Pulev. I think Pulev, the one thing Pulev has got is an excellent left jab. Pulev. He does move. Forget the Klitschko fight. And people look into that Klitschko fight. You have to look into the canvas for that fight. I keep telling people about the Pulev. If you look at Pulev's fights up to the Klitschko fight, he was a mover. He was a guy that used the jab and moved and gave you movement. The only thing about Pulev, he's a bit upright. He's a bit stiff and a bit upright, but he has got an excellent jab and good pedigree. and Pulev would be the best opponent by a none that Anthony Joshua's faced. I think Pulev would be a great opponent for Anthony Joshua, but is he ready for that kind of opponent? Is Pulev a power puncher? I'm not sure. At the highest level, I don't know if Pulev is a power puncher. I think obviously he's a heavyweight puncher, and if he nails you, there's problems. But stating one-punch knockout artist, Pulev, he's the kind of guy more a thudding puncher that kind of wears you down. And it'd be interesting to see if Joshua came rushing out of Pulev, respond to that. Pulev's got a jab that can keep a fight under control. He's definitely got that jab. And I don't know. But I think if I'm going to put my money on things, if I'm going to put my money on it, I would say that Pulev is just talk. I think more likely you're going to see Molina or Duhaupas. And if I had to leave between the two, between Duhaupas and Molina, I'd go with Molina. Why? Because Molina's been knocked out. Molina got done in a round by Arreola, by Deontay Wilder, although he did hurt Deontay Wilder. So the question is, well, can Anthony Joshua finish the job faster than Deontay Wilder? Maybe. But if he did, can he do it faster than Arreola? I don't know. Duhaupas is Molina is for those fans, the casual fans that want to see knockouts. That's what Molina does carry a dig on him though. Molina can punch. So, you know, if he clips Joshua, I don't think he will, but Molina's there. So Molina's won. Let me think who else. Yeah, I think that would be it really. I think yeah, Molina would be the guy that I think that Joshua would fight. It's a casual fight. What I mean by a casual fight, it's one of them highlight fights. It's one of them fights that you know, you'll look back on after the fight and you'll see Joshua knocking the guy through the ropes devastatingly. You know, Pulev's a bit of a mover, whereas if you look at Dillian Whyte, wasn't much of a mover. You look at Dominic Breazeale, the last fight, Joshua was missing with a lot of punches with Breazeale. Yeah, he got Breazeale out there, but he was missing with punches because Breazeale was moving just a little bit here and just a little bit there. Pulev will give a lot more movement. So Joshua would have to be careful of someone like Pulev because Pulev is also a good counter puncher. So you couldn't lean in because Pulev could counter punch. So Pulev out of the three would be the best fighter. Whether they'll take that fight, I don't know. Yeah, but I think, is this going to be the game plan from now on? Every time Fury fights in the UK, then that Hearn and Joshua are going to put a fight the next month right next door to Fury fighting. Is that going to be strategy? I don't know. Is this more sabotage going on here? You know, it's almost like it's the best heavyweight in the UK. I mean, a lot of people say Tyson Fury because he beat Klitschko, and I would agree with that. And strategically, if I were Fury, once I beat Klitschko, I'd go and fight Joshua next. It's got to be done. Dust up and be the best man. Be the best man in the UK. The best man in the UK, the best man in the world. You are the best man in the world. Finish off business in the UK. Take up the title from Joshua and go on. Or Joshua beats Fury and go on. So I think it has to be done, or else you're going to constantly have that situation where Joshua and Fury are going to be a one day after the other date, back to back. And I don't think it's going to do any of them any favors in terms of gates and stuff like that. Well, maybe it would do. I don't know. I mean, I remember when Ben and Eubank were fighting, but I guess, I'm sure they weren't. They're the same promoter, weren't they, at one point? No, they weren't. Were they? No, they weren't. Frank Warren and Don King, no, they weren't. But, you know, I don't know. They weren't under the same promoter I'm talking about. But, you know, I think it's something that needs to be done. That this Joshua and Fury thing has to get resolved one way or another. I mean, these two guys are going to have to fight to deal with this issue. Box Nation versus Sky Sports. That'd be interesting. Fury representing Box Nation. Joshua representing Sky Sports. And how would that fight be? Where would the fight be? Would it be on Box Nation? Would it be on Sky Sports? Who would have the rights? I'd love to see the commentary team for that. You could have some like John Rawling, and I think John Rawling and Adam Smith. I don't know. I don't know how the fight would be. Box Nation. It'd be an interesting fight. It'd be a really good fight. I think it would be a fan-friendly fight. But I don't know. I'm still not convinced that Joshua's going to fight the big names. Yeah, I think they're going to try and still build him up. I don't think they're going to. They'll talk about big names, but I think they'll continue to do as they do, and just fight guys just under the best fighters out there. So yeah, I didn't say much more than that. Joshua versus whomever in Cardiff. It's in November. So where are we now? September, October, November. Doesn't give whoever the opponent is much time unless the opponent already knows and is in training now. And then you got to see with the opponent, that whoever the opponent is, how long they've been training already. Did they have a fight lined up? Or have they been sitting around scratching their nuts for the last couple of months? So, you know, those are all the questions I want to know. So track Molina, track Pulev. Pulev's just come off a win against Derek Chisori. Looked decent there. So we'll see. I'm out. Take care.